Okay, but we have to talk about something that's happening in the UK about digital IDs and the ability to work. If you haven't seen this, this is happening right now. If you haven't seen it, please watch this. It's very important. This will have a ripple down effect to the United States. Some people think that it won't. It absolutely will. I'm going to go over later on in the video, after I talk about this, how it can affect the US. This is very important to watch. We're going to watch a video by Prime Minister Keir Starmer talking about digital IDs and the ability to work. So let's get into it. Let me just show you what he has to say here.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament.
Mandatory for the right to work.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
The rest of the video, 2 minutes and something, he talks about the global warming and climate change and war with Ukraine. He literally, after 23 seconds, completely changes the subject and talks about something completely different. 23 seconds of just talking about digital ID. This is an enormous problem, okay? I want to emphasize how big of a problem this is, because currently right now what the UK has been doing is they have been arresting people. They have been arresting people for social media posts. Let me show you some things.
The time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
what?
127 of the Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being arrested?
You're going to be arrested, okay?
Right.
Take you up to the police station.
Right.
You, okay? This is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Listen, this is a real video. This is not a fake video. Currently, right now, they are arresting people in large numbers, in mass numbers in the UK. And I've seen crazy videos of old women, young kids, for literally just posting a flag, for literally just posting the UK flag. Or having an opinion about what religion should be present in the UK, because right now there is a lot of other immigrations happening in the UK, and the UK wants to keep what their religion is, their country, to stay how it has for centuries. People are being arrested for this. Okay. I want to know where the uproar is, okay? Everybody was up in arms about Jimmy Kimmel being taken off of the air because, and they claim that was the government. It wasn't the government. It was their partners that didn't like his comment that he made about Charlie Kirk. They took him off the air, and there was an uproar about freedom of speech. Jimmy Kimmel was not arrested. He just lost his job. Where's the uproar over people being arrested for making social media posts? Now, you might be saying, well, this is the UK. This is the UK. This isn't going to affect the United States. Oh, how are you wrong? How are you wrong? Let me show you how you're wrong. Currently, right now, as all of the things happened with vigils and the funeral of Charlie Kirk and the protests that are happening with ICE, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, has silently released a new bill to charge people up to $1 million for social media posts. I want to take a minute to listen to this guy, Matt Baker, who talks about this in greater details. Please pay attention.
Middle of all of this, something else happened around free speech, something nobody seems to be talking about, happening in the background while none of us are paying attention. The bluest state in the country, California, just passed the most censorious bill ever to be introduced in this country, SB 771, passing the Assembly on September 10th, 10 days ago, then on September 16th, passing the Senate. completely under our noses, which means right now, all that stands between complete statewide government censorship is Gavin Newsom's signature. Now, am I exaggerating about how bad this bill is? No, I am not. Here is the actual bill. You can pull this up yourself on the state's website. The bill's called SB 771. It's called Personal Rights Liability Social Media Platforms. In Section 2, Title 23 of the bill, it defines the penalties for breaking this new California law. If you post something on social media anywhere online that the state of California deems to be hateful, there's a penalty for that reckless violation, a civil penalty of up to $500,000 for an intent.
I want to stop here for a second because what he's saying is anything the state deems to be hateful. Now, I want to make a very important correlation to especially people of Christianity faith. There's a lot of persecution happening right now towards Christians. Now, who's to say if the state finds somebody talking about Jesus or talking about their faith or their opinions about, I mean, think about this. Charlie Kirk, he was a man of God. He talked about his faith, what he believed in, and some of the things in the Bible, they don't agree with other people. Now, what if the state thought that that was hateful speech? We have a lot of people right now online making videos saying that Charlie Kirk was hateful, that he was discriminatory. That's their opinion. He wasn't, though. And what if California deems him to be that? If you make a similar post based on your faith, based on your beliefs, you can now be fined. If you're in California, well, not now because they haven't passed it. This is why I'm bringing awareness to this, because this needs to not pass. The thing in the UK needs to not pass. It needs to, you could be fined up to $1 million. Absolutely ridiculous.
Intentional, knowing, or willful violation, a civil penalty of up to $1 million. That is the definition of the state controlling speech, folks, not what Trump just did. We don't like what the FCC chairman happened to say on Benny Johnson's show, but there's a huge difference between that and real government censorship. And what type of speech is California trying to police here? Well, let's read from the bill. It says, this bill protects against online harassment, particularly when directed at historically marginalized groups. Which means what? If you were to, I don't know, point out who the Kavanaugh assassin is, which we all just learned about this morning in this new court filing, if you were to say who that person is, would you be fined $500,000? Pretty frightening. All of this happening in the midst of the media and Democrats, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris making hay out of Trump trying to attack the First Amendment. Meanwhile, the state of California is actively passing UK-style laws that will fine you for saying the wrong thing. Pretty wild. And this bill is completely done, folks. It's passed in the House. It's passed in the Senate. All that's left is Gavin Newsom signing it into law. All of this.
That is absolutely wild. Another point I want to make about the digital IDs. So they said that you're going to need a digital ID to work, right? But they're arresting people on the fact that they're making social media posts. If you get arrested for making a social media post in the UK, you will have your digital ID revoked. Think about that for a second. It's going to be mandatory for you to have a digital ID. But then if you get arrested for making a social media post, you will have your digital ID revoked, meaning you will not be able to work. Make this make sense, guys. Make this make sense, because it absolutely does not make any sense to me. This needs to stop. This cannot continue. If the UK passes this, if California passes that, what's next? What's next? We're talking about our civil liberties here, our constitutional rights. We cannot have our rights taken away. The minute we have our rights taken away is the minute the government will control everything. If you're afraid of a civil war right now, you've seen nothing yet. if the UK and the United States start taking our rights away, because we won't have it. The people will not have it. That's not a threat. No one take me out of context and say it's a threat. This is my opinion about what's happening with these laws that people are trying to pass. We have to have an opinion about this. We are the people. They cannot continue to create laws that we do not have a say in. I think currently right now there is a petition right now currently for the UK. I think there's like over 1 million signatures so far within 24 hours of people wanting to not have this go through, which is great. We need to have more attention to this. Everybody needs to talk to your families, your friends, make this aware. Like you cannot classify hate speech if you cannot have clear guidelines to what hate speech is right now. And right now there is no clarification to what it is. It's just a matter of time before people talking about their faith are going to be classified as hate speech. This needs to stop. It needs to not go through, and people need to be aware of what's happening. I hope I'm going to reach some people with this message. I hope people are going to take this under consideration and really fight against this, because this is a much bigger deal than you think it is. A digital ID will be the end of our freedom. It will 100% be the end of our freedom. They will track everything that you do, everything that you say. And then like he said, if it's tied to you being able to work, this is a huge problem. The UK is turning into a straight up communist country, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want America to turn into communism. I don't want any of that stuff. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm heated about this though, guys. I'm heated about this, man. I mean, like, I don't want to have my views and opinions censored. I don't want to one day, being someone that makes social media posts, and I have been for a while, and some of the things I say are controversial to some people. You know, I make loving videos about God, and I get a lot of downvotes. People downvote my loving videos. So you don't understand what's happening, what's going to come down the line if we get digital IDs and they start controlling what we're allowed to say and what we're allowed to post and where we're allowed to go. We're all humans. Give us the ability to have freedom of speech and being able to voice our opinions online. Otherwise, what's the point of the internet? Anyway, I love you guys. God bless. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts down below.